space particle still there. So that's why you see today, then you see these particles ultimately come from the particle, because of the regroup or something, space particle, then different sort of shape, different nature, empty come. But then eventually, these sort of particle, then you see these particle, group of particle, which can regroup or something, can be basis different sort of consciousness, different consciousness come. Then living things happen. These sort of particle, so similar group of physical thing, which must be continuation. There can be that's substantial cause. Consciousness. Now mind, consciousness come formless. Then living things just experience.
Святейшество, по-видимому, отвечает на вопрос о происхождении сознания, о происхождении мира. Если говорить о явлениях физической природы, материальной природы, то они происходят из своего соответствующего потока. Это субстанциональная причина. Ум же не имеет формы. Ум — это способность к постижению, способность испытывать определенные переживания. И субстанциональная причина здесь должна быть той же природы. Вот почему мы именно так объясняем, что
so these things, you see, when I think yesterday I mentioned, 가상가서 이슈 라마 가사. 말해. 가.
When this day, no.
Oh, when this day, where?
No.
Oh, one Catholic monk. Wonderful. We often used to discuss how to practice meditation, single-pointed meditation, these things, and impermanent, these things. So we always used to discuss these things, no problem. Then one day he asked me about the shunyata, or emptiness. Then I respond to him, don't ask that, it is not your business. Now here you see big differences. From Buddhist viewpoint, everything interdependent. No independent sort of identity, independent existence. So there is no room, absolute independent God. So therefore, you see, I respond to him, don't ask that. I really feel if he really thinks seriously this matter, it may harm his sort of single-pointed faith towards God. So, obviously, people who follow this religion, they get benefit. So that is important. So I don't want you to sort of to develop some kind of doubt in their mind. So people here who get benefit from the view there is Creator. You see, Creator. No religion say Creator is full of anger. Nobody say that. All say Creator full of compassion. Oh, mercy. So that's very, very helpful. We all children of that kind of Father. So then, you see, you're sort of killing each other. And particularly Shia and Sunni killing is actually totally against Creator. We all children, brothers, sisters of same Father. Where is mother? I don't know. God usually, oh yes, God usually we say Father, isn't it? Father.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that also, I think the old society, male dominance. So that, you see, also influence in religious field. God consider Father. Nowadays, I think we may say God female. More compassion. Okay.
We will now
My hand clean. 다 그렇게 고추는 내 출동사다. 가래. 자다가. 벌써 이봐. 남주 자가 망지거래.
No, continue lá, tem chance. Sai que tu cobre muito, Paquistão.
지금 이시지.
Que agora sai que tu tem muito.
알레 얘는 위 따바 됐을 거다.
니 돈 죽지 지시디나.
Calden.
천지 텐션다.
Thank you, Your Holiness. Wonderful conversation.
Okay.
Thank you.
Namo tase bhagavato arahato samyasam buddhase. As Buddhist.
No, I'm Muslim, but I am from Burma.
Muslim.
Yes.
Oh, Burma. Oh. This sad situation in Burma. One time, the first this event happened, I was in Washington. The Time magazine, one cover story, one Buddhist monk, picture, one Buddhist monk, described Buddhist terrorist. I feel very uncomfortable. So they are acting like terrorists, but still carry the name Buddhist. So some, my Muslim friends say, any sort of person who come from Muslim community, as soon as committed terrorism, then reality no longer Muslim. Wonderful. Similarly, one person from Buddhist family, once is touch involved terrorist act, no longer Buddhist. So same. Thank you. What did you say?
Your Holiness, we at tea we were talking about quantum physics, and at tea we were talking about quantum physics, and one of the things that has been made possible by quantum physics is technology, and so I want to ask Sebastian if he'd like to bring us into that realm.
Good morning.
Oh, sound not working.
Sound.
Oh, yes.
Good morning, Your Holiness and everyone. It's a honor for me to be here. I describe myself as a young leader who has decided to dedicate his life to fight against human trafficking and organized crime in order to contribute to build a more peaceful and just Colombia. I am from Colombia. As everyone knows, human trafficking is a serious crime and a grave human violation of human rights. Actually, yesterday, many of my friends talk about sexual exploitation, forced labor, forced recruitment in their own countries. So we are talking about a global issue. What I do in Colombia with my colleagues is prevent human trafficking in young population by the design, development, and implementation of innovative tools, methodologies, and technologies that help us to face the challenges that...
Beyond religion,
Yeah, that help us to face the challenges.
I would like to show you. No, here.
Yeah.
My mouth.
He's doing this to Desmond Tutu in the photo.
When he, in spite of his age, he came to Dharamsala about 3 days or talk. So I went to airport, Kangra airport, and when he come out, you see his plane, and I went, and then the first way to welcome him. Yes.
Okay, as I was saying, I has decided to dedicate my life to fight against human trafficking, and what we do in Colombia is, with my colleagues in my organization, is design, develop, and implement innovative methodologies, tools, and technologies that help us to prevent the crime in young population. We go to schools, universities, companies in order to raise awareness about this crime, and a couple of months ago, in partnership with the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime and IBM, we created, together with the UNODC, the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, and IBM, the technology enterprise, we create the first hackathon. A hackathon is a kind of technological competition, the first one in Colombia on human trafficking, in order to develop technologies that help us to increase the scope and positive impact of our prevention, investigation, and identification work of victims of human trafficking. So what I would like to ask you, Your Holiness, is which do you think is the role that technology should play in the fight against human trafficking, organized crime, and the promotion of human rights?
I'd like to ask Sharif to come in as well, because there's another, not just organized crime, but other groups also use technologies.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Thank you, Nancy. Your Holiness, thank you very much for your time. It's really a great honor to be here. I'm Sharif from Afghanistan. I'm coming from a country that more than half of our population are youth, but these youth are so much vulnerable to extremism. When I had 8 years, we moved because of extremism, violence, and discrimination from the north of Afghanistan to Kabul. Back then, when I was going to school, I remember the only thing that we had in our classrooms was only a blackboard and a chalk, but no roof and no walls. Sometimes I had to bear.
What do you mean?
Yes. Sometimes I had to bear the hunger and save that money to later on spend it on my education. And that was done when I graduated. I decided to dedicate my life and work on eradicating extremism. So now I work with youth in Afghanistan to make them more open and more tolerant and to build a resilience. So, Your Holiness, I would like to learn from your experience that what are the main drivers of extremism in young people? Thank you.
Basically, I think lack of knowledge. only, you see, to think your own area surrounding. And then sometimes, you see, as yesterday I mentioned, sometimes you see the concept of one religion, one truth. So in terms of individual, that concept good in order to single-pointed faith, good. But in terms of community, in terms of humanity, this concept of one truth, one religion is unrealistic. Whether you like it or not, there are many different religious traditions. Many billions of people follow different traditions. So therefore, you see, whether we like it or not, we have to accept the several truths and several religions. Now, this is not only theoretical level. This country, India, over 1 billion population, the Indian, from childhood, they already have several truths, several religions. So these isolated people, I think, should know. You see, there are different religions. So as yesterday I mentioned, the next year, Indian Muslim. You see, I suggested as my suggestion. Now they decide to convene one whole India's national level, one Muslim conference, and then eventually should have international Muslim sort of conference and invite Muslim from all those Muslim countries. And then not just a short talk, but after sort of meeting at least 2 to 3 days, then the group pilgrimage in Delhi itself. Now, firstly, Muslim as a mosque there, one big one, Kaza. Jama Masjid, Kaza. Jama Masjid. So my sort of story. One day I visited a small Muslim conference in Delhi. Then after that we all went to Jama Masjid. And I also wear the white hat. And then with other Muslim, pray to Allah. So that next day, in many Indian newspaper, you see, carry a picture of that. So Hindu fundamentalist may feel uncomfortable, I felt. But the very, very positive sort of, the report, positive sort of reaction, like that. So that's India. Then I often used to telling people, from ancient sort of the Pars, because of the Iran, Parsi, Persia. You see, before Islam come there, when Islam come, this is some persecution. The Zorazuddin, that's ancient Iran sort of tradition. Then there many of them escaped to India, now settled in Bombay. Now their population less than 100,000, very small. Among the Indian Christians, Indian Hindus, millions of Hindus or Christian and Muslim, that Zorazuddin community very small, but no fear. They carry their own sort of puja, fire puja or something like that. So that's India, less than 100,000, no fear. So therefore, once you see, I feel after sort of meeting, then should take pilgrimage. Jama Masjid re. Then Kasati Senegal in Delhi, and then Hindu temple, then Jain temple and Buddhist temple, and temple Guru Gurdwara. You see, there in one city, all major were religious sort of temple there, no problem. So then I think physically, you see, the delegation who come from different Muslim country. I suggest the Indian government, since many years, India should organize international religious conference. Then leaders of these different traditions, including Pope, if government of India organize, certainly, you see, Pope come. Then the Protestant Kasachut, the Church of England,
No.
the
Archbishop
certainly come. Then Russian Orthodox certainly come. Some, the Muslim, the Orthodox from Iran, from Iraq, and some other sort of Muslim country, certainly come. Government of India extend invitation. Then, at the beginning, some nice sort of speech. Then the second level of because of the leader of these different religious tradition, spent 2-3 days discuss how to solve these conflicts in the name of religion. Then you see that group, you see, should carry some kind of pilgrimage to all these, and you see, 1956 government of India special arrangement, train arrangement. We visit all Buddhist sites, Bodh Gaya, Sanchi, Rajagiri, and all these, something like that. Visit different places or holy places. I think that may may develop some sort of new sort of understanding or experience. But now I think more than 50 years passed, nothing happened. So now, and I think December way. This is not of course, not public.
Is there a role for technology in
No. Wait. I think the December. I have opportunity meeting with the Indian president, so I may remind him. But Ka.